My love story with design. Hi, this is Eleonora. Today I'll tell you the most intimate story about my relationship with design, about how passionate, youthful love turned into a mature partnership, why I went through disappointments and discoveries, and how I learned to speak the same language with design. You know, every creative person has their own love story with their profession. I had several, each taught me something important. Chapter 1, Youthful Passion for Fashion. I was 18 when I first truly fell in love with fashion design. Picture this, a young girl full of ideas who believed that fashion was pure art, capable of changing the world. I was studying design, and each collection was like first love for me, all-consuming, reckless, beautiful. My work was, how should I put it, dramatic. Bordeaux silks, deep emerald velvet, dandy-style silhouettes with a touch of decadence. Models walked the runway like living paintings by old masters. I won competitions for young designers. Judges said, talent, vision, the future of fashion, and I believed. God, how I believed that the whole world lay at my feet. But you know what happened after all those victories? Silence. Collections hung in my closet like museum pieces. Models went home, and I sat in an empty studio thinking, what's next? First painful lesson of reality. It turned out that between gorgeous on the runway and people buy it in stores lies an entire universe that no one had warned me about. My avant-garde, dandy suits were works of art, but who would wear them? A velvet jacket for $2,000 is beautiful, but who would buy it? And where to find production capable of creating such complexity? This was my first painful breakup with naivety. Design, without understanding reality, is a beautiful but empty dream. I realized love for design must be not only passionate but also smart. Chapter 2, Romance with Luxury in St. Petersburg Palaces. After fashion disappointments, I switched to interiors and entered a completely different world. The 90s. St. Petersburg, an era when new Russians bought not just apartments, they bought palaces, literally Catherine-era halls, enfilades, 18th century molding. My clients became people who could afford to live in history, and they wanted this history to be luxurious. I studied masterpieces by Italian masters and adapted them for these restored palaces, Bernini's Baroque, Palladio's classicism, French refinement, all of this came alive in St. Petersburg interiors. I remember one client, a businessman who bought a wing of the Stroganov Palace. He told me, Eleonora, I want everyone who enters here to understand. This is where someone who has achieved everything lives. And here I first understood the deep essence of design. People don't buy objects, they buy sensations. That businessman wasn't just buying furniture, he was buying a sense of power, success, belonging to the elite. His wife wasn't just ordering a bedroom, she was creating a space where she could feel like a queen. Second important lesson, design is psychology. In St. Petersburg palaces, I learned to read people through their desires, to understand what role they wanted to play in their own home. Design stopped being just about beauty for me. It became about how to make a person feel like the best version of themselves. Chapter 3, Chinese Enlightenment. Then fate threw me to China, and this became the most serious test of my relationship with design. Imagine me, accustomed to custom work, to individual palace projects, ending up in a factory that produces thousands of identical chairs per day. The first day was a shock. Assembly line, precise technologies, no romance of creativity. It seemed like the murder of everything I believed in. But Chinese masters opened my eyes to something amazing, the beauty of mass production. They showed me how to create a chair that would be elegant yet technological, how to make the 1,000th copy as perfect as the first, how to come up with a design that would be equally understood in Shanghai, New York, and Milan. Third lesson, design is a language understood by the whole world. In China, I understood. A real designer must think not only as an artist, but also as an engineer. Each line must be not just beautiful, but also producible. Each material, not just aesthetic, but also accessible. Each solution, not just original, but also working in the real world. This was a revelation. I was learning to create beauty that doesn't live in a single copy, but is replicated and makes the world more beautiful for millions of people. Chapter 4, Mature Love at LUVRE. Today, creating a collection for a cruise line or hotel, I use the experience from all my previous romances with design. From fashion, I took the ability to see beauty and create emotional images. From working with palaces, understanding client psychology and ability to read their desires. From China, knowledge of technologies and understanding of mass production. Now, working on a project, I ask myself several questions. What emotion should a person feel when seeing this object? Palace lesson. How to technically implement this with quality and in the needed quantity? China lesson. How should this look to inspire admiration? Fashion lesson. My principles of mature relationships with design. Over the years, I've developed several principles that became the foundation of my philosophy. Principle 1, beauty must serve life. Design for design's sake is masturbation. Real design makes people's lives better, simpler, more pleasant. Principle 2, each object tells a story. Our porcelain plate isn't just dishes. It's a story about travel, about moments of beauty, about a brand's care for its guests. Principle 3, constraints breed creativity, budget, technology, client requirements. These aren't obstacles, they're game conditions. The most brilliant solutions are born precisely within constraints. Principle 4, design is translation. I translate clients' desires into the language of form, color, material. I turn abstract, I want luxury, into a concrete porcelain cup with a gold rim. Principle 5, emotion is more important than technique. People don't buy specifications, they buy feelings. Our sun symbol bracelet is valuable not for its material, but for the sense of protection and strength it gives. Today, design and I are the perfect couple. You know what changed over the years? I stopped trying to prove to design how special I am. Instead, we became partners. Design tells me I want to be beautiful. I respond, fine, but also be useful. Client says, I need something special. I respond, I'll make it special, but in a way that works. Production says, this is hard to implement. I respond, we'll find a way to simplify without losing beauty. What I want to tell everyone who works with design, don't fear the evolution of your relationship with creativity. Passionate love for art is wonderful, but not enough. Understanding people and their needs is important, but not everything. Knowledge of technologies and production is necessary, but boring without soul. Real magic happens when all of this combines. The best design is the one people don't notice but can't imagine their life without. Like breathing, like love, like home. Thank you for letting me share this story. In the next episode, I'll talk about how to learn to hear what the client really wants, even when they don't understand it themselves. See you soon!